What is up, my planting people? My name is Lithius and welcome to Roots Ready. If you're in the market for a greenhouse or a terrarium, then you've come to the right place. Today, we'll be looking at my IKEA Socker Greenhouse and I'm going to take you through where I've placed it in my house, what's inside, and give you some tips and tricks on how to make it the best environment for your plants. So welcome to my IKEA greenhouse. I'm going to quickly give you a tour of what's inside. This is a wonderful unit. It is around 35 centimeters high. It measures around 45 centimeters in width and 22 centimeters across. So it's plenty big for your most windowsills or desktops. So I would definitely recommend this. I'm going to quickly show you what's inside of here. So I love this because it's really easy to open, opens up from the top, and it gives you loads of access to get inside to really see what's happening with your plants. This unit only took me around 15 to 20 minutes to get sorted, to put together. And as you can see, I've done some DIY things to it just to get it to retain a lot of that humidity. Over here, I've just placed some tape. It's not the best looking, but you can hardly notice when it's closed, and I'll show you. You hardly notice it when it's shut, but what this does is that it closes that gap off on either side and helps it to hold in that humidity. Over here, I've just placed some padding because when this is shut, there's usually quite a gap over here. So what I've done is I've put this on here again just to help to keep in that humidity. In here, I've got my Anthurium. I'm not really sure what this one is, but it's a really gorgeous plant. It's got the really pretty pink inflorescence. It wasn't doing too well on its own, so I've put it in here. Since then, it's given me some really good growth, including this tiny little one over here. Look at that, how gorgeous is that? So it's doing really, really well. I've got my rarer plants in here as well. So in here I've got my my philodendron melanochrysum. It's doing really well since I've put it in here. It's giving me this leaf really quickly as well, only in a matter of weeks, and it looks like it's going to be pushing out some more growth very soon. I've got my gloriosum in here again. It was just a 2-leaf really juvenile plant, so I've put it in here. It's been doing really well, and it's definitely going to be pushing out some new growth very soon, so I'm really excited about that. And it seems to be really loving it in here. So another great feature about this greenhouse is that this middle part actually comes out, and that gives you a lot more room to navigate around the greenhouse, which I should have done a little bit earlier because I was struggling to get things in and out. But in here I've also got my Stephania erectica plant. It's still working on pushing out some growth. These are quite slow growers, and if you haven't seen it yet, I've did a video unboxing this bad boy and just giving you some care tips, so check that out in the cards, which I'll link right here. So how do I keep this greenhouse really healthy? So there's a couple of things I do. So one, I've got a humidity meter over here which just lets me know what the conditions are like inside. I've just stuck this on with a command strip, really good. I can see into it without having to take it out in and out of the space, so that's really cool. Down here I've got a DIY humidifier, which is literally just a small cup of water with a sponge inside it, and that just helps the water to be sucked up into the sponge and easily into the environment and bring that humidity level up. So that's really cool. I really like that. It works really well. Because this is such a closed space, something that you really want to ensure that you have is really good air circulation, and for that I've got this little plug-in fan over here. It's really cool. So what I do is I run the cable, it's always plugged in, and I run the cable just through the flap over here, and it just works really well, and again, it doesn't really change the humidity. So another top tip I've got for you guys is 2 things. You like that? I would definitely recommend you have some sort of fungicidal spray on hand, and spritz your plants once a month, just to ensure that as a preventative measure you're eliminating any fungus that might affect your plants. So I definitely recommend that. And also just a spray bottle. I find that this is amazing, especially in the winter months when the humidity is a little bit lower, and I average around 75%. What I do is I go in, I give the plants a quick misting, and that brings the humidity back up to around 88%, 90%, which is really, really cool, and it holds on to that humidity for a few hours as well. So definitely recommend these two for your greenhouse. So let's talk practicalities. This is an amazing option for anyone who doesn't want to spend much and wants to try their hand at a greenhouse. This only cost me £12. I think it was around 16 with postage and packaging. Because of coronavirus, I wasn't able to go out to get it. But if you can go into IKEA, I definitely recommend grabbing one or a few of these. I'm also thinking about turning this into a terrarium and really spritzing it up, adding some moss to the ground and some background. So if you guys are interested in me doing that, let me know in the comments below, and I will arrange that in one of my future videos. So if you're wondering why I got this greenhouse, I have a Anthurium moricreum, which, as I've mentioned in the video before, suffered a fall. Originally it was in a Ziploc bag, which just didn't work for my aesthetic, and I stumbled across this and some other terrariums as well, but this was the one that really stuck out to me, and it fits perfectly into my space as well. So I found that this was really, really easy to put together. It only took me around 15 to 20 minutes to put together on my own, so that was really, really quick. Everything sort of slots together. There are no screws or fixing needed, but what I did, just again to hold in that humidity and to hold it together, is I'll place some silicone just where the base meets the top of the greenhouse. So what that means is that your greenhouse is actually waterproof from the bottom, and any water that spills over won't spill out into your space. So it's definitely recommended, and it's fantastic for terrariums as well, if you are going to be watering the entire greenhouse from the top down. So if you are in the market for a greenhouse, something a little bit more ornamental, somewhere to display your rarer plants, or just a plant hospital to rehab your plants, I would definitely recommend the IKEA Socker Greenhouse. So that was it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then hit that like button and share with your friends, and consider subscribing to this channel or following my Instagram page @RootsReady to stay up to date. Thank you, and keep planting.